welcome to Halcyon at 50, through the eyes of the captains. Petra Williams, your host, and I'm very pleased to be able to share these important nuggets with us as we celebrate with Halcyon on the occasion of their 50th anniversary, the third oldest steel band in Antigua and Barbuda. With me this afternoon is Scenty, popularly known. His birth paper name, should I put it that way, is George Thomas. Scenty, why do they call you Scenty?
Well, it's a nickname.
It's just a nickname?
That's a nickname.
Okay. Tell us about your entry into Halcyon. What year and what prompted you to join the band?
Well, I started in 1980, and I used to play in the Princess Margaret School Serenaders Steel Band. Geminites, after I left school.
So you played in the PMS Serenaders?
Yes.
And then you went on to Geminites?
Yes.
Okay.
And then after I left school, I decided, well, I'm coming west, closer to home.
Where was home at the time?
Tanner Street. Tanner Street was home, and it's just up the road from Halcyon Panyard. So I decided to come west. I joined, when I came, they didn't have any panorama that year.
What year was that?
That was 1980. They had a pan show.
Okay.
And Bugsy Sharp was here. Because, as you know, he was the range in 78 and 79.
Right.
And he came back 80 with the expectation that there would be a panorama, but there wasn't.
Right. And
so we did, they had a pan show, and we did about 4 tunes, I think. It was Tune for Chalice, Nightmare Party. We did Frenzy. We did Support the Pan. And we did Rockin' and Funkin'. Rockin' and Funkin' to Swallow.
Yes.
And those are the 4 tunes that we did for the 1980 Carnival celebration.
Okay.
And those tunes really took St. John's by storm. I mean,
yes,
we destroyed St. John's.
Nightmare Party was big.
Chalice was big. But the big tune was Rockin' and Funkin'. Yeah, that was the tune, boy. That really tear up St. John's, you know. And so after Carnival was over, they had a lot of migration at that time. A lot of people from the ghettos were migrating to the Virgin Islands or to the States.
Right.
And so the band, you know, came down to basically just a handful of players. And so I decided to stay on, and a couple of others decided to stay on also. And then we went and started to play out. That time the pans and them were not the best.
So that's in the early 80s?
That was 80.
Okay, that was in 1980.
Yeah, in 1980,
right.
yes. Because we started at the Carnival, and then the season now would be in December going down.
Right, which should have been time for tourists.
Yeah, time, right. So we decided to stay on, and we started to play in the hotels and so forth. You know, and then at that time, Halcyon was known to be a roughneck band.
It was known to be a what?
A roughneck band.
Roughette?
Roughneck.
Oh, sorry, roughneck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Compared to, you say Halcyon was known to be the roughneck band. Compared to the other bands, or
like Harmonites was, you know, was the thing. Harmonites was the sophisticated band. You know, everybody, you know, when they have any official function, it was Harmonites, because they say Halcyon our members came dressed how they like. You know, their behavior wasn't the best, so they say.
Okay.
And so I think that when I started, Mr. Spencer was there also.
Right, that's Mr. Baldwin.
Mr. Baldwin Spencer
yes.
was there. And after the Carnival and so, we decided to settle down and have a playing outside. I think Mr. Spencer spoke to us, and he decided that, look, we have to lift the image of the band. You know, we can't continue in this vein. We have to, you know, rise to the next level.
I'm curious, was Mr. Walter still around at that time?
No, Mr.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Selvin Walters, no, he wasn't around.
Okay.
And so we decided, well, coming tourist season, we're going to up the level of the band. And so Babu was the arranger, and he was the drummer also. And so we started to practice some standard tunes. You know, like when you're going to the hotels and the people are having dinner, you know, you have some nice standards of dinner music, right? So we started to practice that, the dinner music and so forth. And then we went down to, we had one night that was at Galley Bay, every Saturday night. We used to play at Galley Bay every Saturday night. And Mrs. Spencer would come down and, you know, try observe and the floor dance and so on, you know.
I'm curious, did Mr. Spencer ever play an instrument?
No, he didn't. No. I never seen him play an instrument, but
he and I would have that conversation. I was curious.
You know, he's very knowledgeable of the music, Steelpan music.
Right.
And so, I mean, after that, we decided, okay, 81 came around, and then that Panorama in 81. That was Bugsy Sharp last year in Antigua.
Bugsy's last year in Antigua, was he the captain or he was just the
No,
arranger?
Bugsy was the arranger.
All right, just for clarity.
Yeah, that was his last year in Antigua, 1981.
Right, 81, yes.
Yes, and we lost the Geminites that year. Right, and
not even to Harmonites?
no, the Harmonites wasn't there in 81. Harmonites went to Carry Festa.
Ah, okay.
You see, the thing
That's
is,
in Canada.
no, that in Barbuda. You see, the thing is, Harmonites didn't take part in the 78 or 79 Panorama. Right? And Carry Festa was 81. They didn't have any Panorama in 80.
Right.
So the band that was supposed to go by right would be Halcyon. Because Halcyon was the last champion, which was 79.
79, correct.
But as I said, Harmonites was the D band. You know, the sophisticated band. So they...
No. Harmonites was the D band.
The Harmonites was the sophisticated.
Was the D band, yeah.
Halcyon was the roughneck band.
Fair enough. Okay, so we're now at 1982.
Well,
We went through 81.
Before we reach 82, after 81, we decided, look, we have to get proper pans now.
Okay.
Because the instruments that we had were old and, you know, just wasn't cutting it.
Right.
You know, Harmonites had then at that time comb instruments.
I would say but of course, but this is about Halcyon.
Yes, they had combed down. And let me tell you, Harmonites was the band that you were patting yourself off of.
Okay.
Right? They were the lead band at the time. Right? So, in order to get up to the standard, you have to get comb instruments. And we decided, okay, we're going to save the play note money to purchase these instruments. And so we did that. And then we had a sponsor by the name of Antigua Masonary Products. And they had an individual in that company by the name of Mr. Theodore. He was a giant of a man. Himself and there was a next guy, Charlie, who I think Charlie's from Green Bay.
Right.
And Charlie used to work out there also. And both of them used to fight for Halcyon.
Nice.
In board meetings to get the
sponsor. Adequate sponsorship.
Yes. And so we purchased the instruments, the comb instruments from Trinidad. And then we started to move up now. Right? And then 82.
82, yes.
There wasn't any Panorama in 82.
There's no Panorama in 82.
No. 82, 83, 84, there wasn't no Panorama.
Right.
But at that time, the band was really, punching. Really punching. The band was, probably the best band, the best jam band in Antigua at the time. Because I can remember in 81 when he had Independence celebration.
Right.
Man, up at VC Bird House, we just destroyed up there. Okay? We just destroyed up at the Prime Minister's house at the time, VC Bird House.
Right.
So we were in overdrive.
Okay, so that by then you were becoming the band.
Yes, we were the band.
You were on your way to
Yes. And then you had 85. There was Panorama that year. And it was supposed to be a calypso and a non-calypso, arranged non-calypso.
Right.
And so we did In the Mood. And Harm Nights, I think, did Overthrow to the Freedom or something like that, a classical piece.
Right.
Superstars did the next classical piece. And we were beaten severely.
I'm curious because speaking to the arranger at the time, I think it was the arranger at the time, because you were, what year did you become captain?
85.
So you weren't captain yet?
No.
Right. There was a suggestion that you guys might have just simply chosen the tune that was just not in keeping with the season. You think that's what happened, or y'all just were outgunned?
No. I mean, listen. When we went to the meetings, they told us that it was supposed to be a non-calypso, right? And it was supposed to be an arranged piece.
Right.
And the arranged piece was supposed to be, the arrangement.
Supposed to be a non-calypso.
Right. Which was supposed to be an arranged piece.
Right,
and the arrangement was supposed to be done by the arranger. Right? So we went ahead. Babu at the time wasn't here.
Right.
Babu had left and gone, you know. So then I became captain then.
Right.
So we had Snags.
Yes, Snags from Superstar.
Right. Vincent Michael. Vincent
Yes,
Michael,
right.
Snags.
He did the arrangement.
He did the arrangement for the tune was In the Mood.
Right.
Right?
So you were captain by then?
Yes.
So this is what year?
85.
And you became captain in
85, yeah.
After
Babu left.
would have left.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
So what happened? In the Mood, we used to play In the Mood in the hotels.
Right.
Babu did that, you know, for us. So we used to use that as a hotel tune. And so we decided to do it for the Panorama. But the thing with that is that Babu had a piece in that tune, the Huckabuck. Do the Huckabuck, do. And so we thought that was part of the tune.
Of the in the
yes.
So you went outside of the criteria.
So we went and did that, and some of the arrangements that was done was centered around the Huckabuck part. So you were severely beaten.
I got you.
But Babu did the calypso though.
Right.
Babu did the calypso piece, but you were severely beaten.
But you couldn't recover.
No, there's no way.
You couldn't recover from In the Mood.
No. The band just wasn't in the mood.
So we pick up now after you would have done not as well as you would have wanted. This is your first year of captaincy.
Captain, yes. Yeah.
And you didn't start off on the right footing.
No.
But let me go back to you becoming captain.
Yeah.
You were ready for the captaincy?
Yes, I was ready.
How so?
I was ready because in 84, Babu had gone and was playing with Hammer International. Right, so Babu used to go and play, and while he was playing with Hammer, sometimes the planes would clash. Hammer would be playing at the same time, Halcyon would be playing somewhere else. So I was, basically ready for it.
Were you his vice captain?
No, I wasn't the vice captain, but it was up there.
Okay. You mentioned about the kind of experience you had, and you would have come into the captaincy with a plan and a vision. Where would you have gotten this plan and this vision and this idea from?
I'm from Tanner Street, and I was surrounded by bands since I was very small. You had Brute Force, you had Oscar Mason down the road in South Street. Then you have Laviscone, just a house away from me. And then in Navy Street, you had Astronaut Steelpan. And then on Reckless Street, you had Nomads.
So, in other words, you lived in Music City.
Right, and then you had Townhouse, where Shire is on Carnally and Navy Street, just east of Joe Mike's.
What used to be there?
There was a nightclub. You were too. I don't think you remember. You wouldn't know that. That was the in thing in Antigua, Townhouse. Yeah.
So that's where the Townhouse business eventually was for a spell.
No, it wasn't a store. It was a nightclub.
Oh, when you say it was a nightclub downstairs?
Yeah,
okay.
It had a disco also.
We get a piece of it.
And there was a courtyard, and the jamming would take place in the courtyard. I mean, like the Sunday night before Carnival, before Jubilee, we had the jams would take place right inside here.
And remind us exactly where this was located, the corner of where?
On Carnally and Navy Street, to the east of Joe Mike's.
Cornally and Navy Street, to the east of Joe Mike's.
Yeah.
Let me
exactly to these dramatics. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here where the action was at.
Yeah.
Way back before we were born. not those older people. Right. So you had all of this exposure and experience.
Yes.
And you brought that with you to the captains
Yes.
Halcyon.
Yes.
And you also suggested that we had the glory years. So tell us about those glory years. Because after that, after you were out of the mood for a spell.
Yeah, first.
Yes, what happened next?
After 85, now we decided, look, we can't go back to Panorama in 86 and disgrace ourselves like that again. So we went to the drawing boards.
Okay.
And we decided we are going to play classical music like the other bands, because before 86, Halcyon never used to play classic.
You were the jam.
We were the jam band, right? And we decided...
With a pulsating rhythm.
Yes. We decided we are going to go and play classic. And so in 86, we did a piece by the name of Poet and Peasants. It was so long that the piece, the disc that ZDK had, you couldn't hold on it. I think it was 13 minutes or something long.
Wasn't there a limit on how long the song should be back then?
No.
Oh, you could play for as long as you wanted?
Yeah.
Oh.
Probably, I think the Calypso is what at the time.
So at that time in 86, we were still playing two pieces?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So 86, you played Poet
and Peasants.
The Calypso piece.
Yeah.
And how did you do? I shouldn't even ask, but let me ask.
Well, let me tell you this. The tune of choice was not Poet and Peasant in the originally.
Right.
It was Blue Down Your Walls. And we started that. And then Big Boy Mason and Ugly Bee. I don't know if you remember. Oh, you probably won't know Ugly Bee.
I remember Big Boy.
Right.
Ugly Bee, I'll have to talk to my mother about it.
Ugly Bee used to play the standing bass in Ask a Mason Band.
Okay.
Right? And they came across the Panyard one night.
You know you're dating yourself, right?
Yeah.
But go ahead. Yeah, so Ugly Bee and Big Boy came to the Panyard.
They came across the Panyard, because we used to practice in the street.
Right.
Right in front of the Panyard, of course, where the courthouse is now.
Right. Okay.
And they came across there one night and they said, what kind of tune that I play there? The tune, they don't get so much a beat in already that they play all over the world, man. I can't play it from the Panorama, I get blown with the song. So I said, what? So I decided, no.
Back to the drawing board.
Back to the drawing board. Can't play this song again. And then they came up with, I think it's Mr. Theodore, you know.
Masonary.
Because he was into classical music.
Right.
And he suggested that he played Poet and Peasant. Oh, the problem is we couldn't get the score for Poet and Peasant.
So what happened?
So all that time, remember time one, you know, because it's two tunes you have to play.
Right.
And so boy, we scramble all over until we eventually get the score. And then Drew Goodwin and Babu worked together on that. And then I will tell you this, Poet and Peasant is the hardest tune I ever played. It's the most difficult piece, to be real. If you can't play, you can't play. Right? It was very, and it was long.
13 minutes?
Yeah, it was real long.
And I'm sure it wasn't very repetitive with the chords and so.
No. Okay. And they had some real difficult parts, especially at the end of the tune. That's some real difficult parts. And so we went along, and I mean, the skill of the players and them, looking back now, I mean, you have to marvel at the skill of the players, because remember, we never played classic before, you know.
Right.
And to play that piece of music at that time, and it was just something else.
So how many hours you used to spend rehearsing?
Well, we used to practice, well, you know, it's Panorama now.
Right.
So we used to practice probably 4 times a week. And
only 4? That doesn't sound too bad.
And then you would practice probably from 8 o'clock, and you would go down to midnight, you know.
I take it back, it was bad.
Right? And then, but when it's coming closer now to the actual competition, you will go way down into 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Familiar stuff.
Yes. And now when we got that out of the way, we wash off, well, Babu did his original piece.
Right.
And so the calypso was nothing, because, you know, we're accustomed to that. And we went to the recreation ground, And
with the entire community behind you.
Oh, well, I'll tell you.
Or by then, they weren't in full force yet.
No, I'll tell you something about that. When
Right.
you hear, like the day with Panorama,
Yes.
let's say Panorama wasn't like a Friday and a Saturday like how they have it now. It was sometime a Wednesday or Thursday up in the week.
Right.
And so it's like in the afternoons, like anything about after 5 now, the band will be rehearsing on the ball court.
Right.
And the whole community will come out now.
Notice I did say that.
The whole community come out to pass judgment. Because you're now representing not just Halcyon, but the community. The green community now you're representing. And you know how they behave down here. So they will come and, surround the band and everybody listening. And then you pack up the instruments and you go to the recreation ground.
It never bothered y'all that the wider community, which of course they have an appreciation for music, but they're not panists in the truest sense of the word. They're not musicians in the truest sense of the word. And you had to satisfy their judgment down in the community before you could head to recreation grounds. that never
No, look, you see,
became something worth pondering.
The thing is, they mightn't have the musical knowledge like writing it, but
Right.
they can't fool them.
But they know what they hear.
Yeah, the ear, man. They trust the ear. So we went there tonight, and I'll tell you something. When you are playing Poet and Peasant, there's a part that plays very, very slow.
Right.
And then that's the first part. And the second part now, it's hard and fast.
Right.
And Pat Bishop was the judge from Trinidad. And while we were playing, the late Philip, he was playing double second in front. And he used to have some rings on his finger. And the ring hit the pan. And that is one of the comments in Pat Bishop comment sheet, that she heard a wrong note. Her ear was so good, she picked up that out in the audience, and you playing on the stage, you hear that.
Wow.
You know?
So his ring hit the pan.
Hit the pan, yeah.
And she didn't know it was a ring. All she knew it was not the note that she put there, and she made a comment to that.
Yeah.
So you know you were in really good hands.
Yes.
Fair enough.
That's why we want the Panorama.
Wait, hold on. She hear a wrong note. You all got the song at the last minute, more or less. And you also beat everybody?
We were just a cut above the rest.
Okay. And so that year began the year of what for Halcyon? Did you win the following year?
Oh yes, we won 87 with Light Calvary. We won 80. We won 87 with Light Calvary.
One of my favorites.
And then 88, they didn't have any Panama 88 because it was abandoned.
It was controversial.
Very, very controversial year when the night for the Panama was rain out. And the night that they gave us, which was the Wednesday after Carnival, they had Third World and Culture on the stage because the Third World and Culture show also was rain out.
Right.
And so they had them on the stage until after midnight. And
you guys were expected to go into the competition afterwards.
And we spoke to the chairman and told him, well, look, by right, this was supposed to be Steelpan night. And we were supposed to be, if anything, we should get the first preference to play first.
Right.
And he just looked at us and said, oh. And so Halcyon lead the charge because there was a particular band that thought that they would have won that year and was there saying, oh, go ahead and play.
You know what, for my sanity, I suspect, let that band remain nameless.
And they thought that, Halcyon was the powerhouse at that time, and so we decided, look, we're not going on that stage because we've been disrespected by these people. And so we just pack up, and from the time we start packing up, everybody else start, pack up and go and leave.
And so and then when was it again before we had Panorama?
Then we had Panorama in 90.
So we missed 80 and 89.
Yeah,
we
missed
90.
Yeah.
So your tenure at Halcyon lasted how long as captain?
From 85 to 96.
85 to 96.
96, yeah.
And those would be considered among, because Halcyon has always been there. But those years sound like they were the Halcyon years.
Yeah, because that in that
Halcyon
period,
years of Halcyon.
in that period, we four-peat in that period.
Yes,
And so that
I am familiar with
we won 6 years from 86, 87, 92, 93, 94, 95. And then you would have Hell's Gate winning in 80, 90, and 91. So 6 and 2 is 8. So there was 8 Panorama in that period between 85 to 95.
Yes,
and we won 6.
A most commendable feat for you as captain. Outside of Panorama, tell us of some of the other high points for you as captain of Halcyon.
Well, Sailing Week was a big event. That was something you look forward to.
Why?
Because, I mean, Sailing Week was just a jam. You know, it was...
Where would Harmonize, sorry, my apologies, get that out. Where would Halcyon be on Sailing Week?
At Dickerson Bay.
Right.
Then you, at Dockyard, and then after they moved it from Dickerson Bay, they went to Curtain Bluff.
Right.
And those, I mean, those are the days, man. Those just were the days. We used to tear Sailing Week apart.
What else? Anything else stood out to you? That's sailing. I think I remember 1 or 2 of those. Nice. My mother's not listening.
What else? Apart from Sailing Week.
So for you, Sailing Week and
Carnival,
Panorama
yeah,
were the highlights.
Were the highlights, yeah.
But the band played out.
The band played out
year.
regular, yeah. Shirley Heights was a big place also.
Right, of course. Shirley Heights and Halcyon go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So the band played out. Were there members of the band who earned their income primarily from playout?
Yes.
So it could be said that with Halcyon in the entertainment industry, people were making a
living over, yes.
All right, okay, that's one thing. Also, one of the things that would be highlighted from time to time, Halcyon had a mix of players. So I know that there was a connection with Trinidad, even though Bugsy no longer came. Right, I think post Bugsy, because I don't think in the Bugsy era so much there was that much Trinidadian influence.
No.
It was mainly him.
Yeah.
Right, but post Bugsy, what was the connection between Halcyon and other bands?
Well, I think the influx of players from overseas came after I left, because during that period and when I was there, Halcyon wasn't that big, on the stage. Halcyon going on stage with over 100 players. When I was there, it was about, if you have 65 players, you thank God for that.
And your 65 players compared favorably to the other bands at the time?
Oh, yes, because the 65 players, they get in, like 300 players.
You had the powerhouse. Okay. For you personally, in terms of the growth of Halcyon, your reflections, what are the things about Halcyon that makes you proud? The things about Halcyon Steel Orchestra that make you a proud Halcyon man?
Well, now seeing the youths in them now coming and playing in the band, before time you didn't have so much young people.
I mean, you have so much young people. You weren't a young person in your day?
Now you see them coming from very small, very tender age.
Okay, that's what I want.
And that brings joy to my heart, and the band is still there. It's still going strong.
Right.
And I like to see that.
For you, during your after you left as captain, you left the band?
Yes.
Or any particular reason you just figured you?
No, after captaincy, after leaving getting staff captain, I left because there wasn't any panorama anyway. So.
Right. No, there wasn't the glory. Don't say there was any panorama. For you, that was your glory.
Yes,
the glory was gone.
Yeah. Then I left, and then the band continued.
Right.
And then you had Panorama coming back. Then I left and went to Harmonites, because Kojo was at Harmonites. Yes. And Kojo is the one who taught me really. And
that's where I know him from. Can I say that's where I know him from? He came home. I'm kidding. For the Halcyon people shouldn't be kidding.
I went to Harmonites, link up with Kojo, and we had a good thing down there. I'm telling you, we had a real good thing down there.
See, that's successfully he went to. But we're talking about
But
Halcyon.
even though I was at
Even though he wasn't harmonized, his heart was still over the waters.
yes, because I'll tell you this. I used to give them advices, I mean, certain things that they're doing.
What?
Yeah, I used to give them advice.
I could talk to Coach.
Because, I mean, you know, your heart is...
Your heart is just where your heart is.
Right.
All right, so just 2 questions to wrap up. First one, for you. There have been many bands in Antigua and Barbuda. We know this. You mentioned a few. The astronauts, so on and so forth. And Halcyon is one of those bands that survived through the lean years, persevered and persisted with the healthy years, and is still around today. What do you see as the vision moving forward for Halcyon?
Huh? What I would like to see really is that, to be honest, is not just for Halcyon, but for Steelpan in general, because Steelpan is especially at carnival time, apart from the panorama, the bands don't really have any, how to put it? They're just not important.
So you want the Steelpan to be more
before time, Steelpan used to dominate the road and, be an integral part of the whole carnival thing.
When you always have this little girl on the trolley.
Right. But, now, apart from panorama, after panorama, nobody wants Steelpan again.
No, so what do you think about, like, the moods of Pan, and I see now we're looking to have more, pre-COVID,
Well, the thing is in moods of Pan, I mean, it's the same people going to moods of Pan. The number is declining.
Fair enough.
What I would like to see, really, is that Steelpan will have to move to the next level. They have to amplify the bands in them.
Really?
Yeah. In order to come on the road, they have to amplify the bands in them. You just can't go on the street now with the natural sound and then you hear...
You really belong to Kojo.
You will hear a hi-fi band up the road with over 50,000 watts of power coming to you. I mean, you're just out of place. You're just out of place. So, I mean, Steelpan have to take a next look how they're going to go into the future.
Okay. My final question now is Halcyon at home. Halcyon at home, 50 to come. Integrating, bringing more youth from the community in, getting back a home, those kind of things. Where are you seeing Halcyon? Halcyon at home.
There's a lot of work. They have to do a lot of work in the community because the youths today from the community, I don't think they were not like us when we were small. We were soup.
They have more options.
Yeah, we were soup.
You were soup for Pan because there wasn't many options.
Yeah, but
there weren't many options.
You had some options, but we were just soup. And as a matter of fact, if you look at the band right now, I don't think probably half of the players in them is not from the community.
So we need to get the band back into the community.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you think a proper home back inside the community would help?
Yes, they need a home. That is one of the first. The band need a home.
In the community?
In the community. Okay. You can't go to the community. You need a home in the community. And they've been trying to get Greenville School incorporated into the band, Five Island School. They've been trying. They're doing things, but I don't know. I think you see what happened? The band have to be out there. It's like how Burning Flames came and was out there, so people wanted to gravitate to the band. It's something like that. You have to be able to pull people to you. And in the farm that the steel bands then they are now, you're not having that.
Well, Scenty, I want to thank you very much for joining us.
Right.
You can wish your fellow Halcyon peoples the world over,
well,
we're setting this world over. Happy anniversary. Tell me what you want to tell.
I like to say that I like to wish Halcyon all the best. Hope that the band lives to see 50 more years. And I would not be there without the 50.
Don't count yourself out yet. Don't count yourself out yet.
But I'm wishing them all the best, and I'm, praying for them, and hope that everything works out fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking to Scenty former captain of Halcyon during the Halcyon years. His words, not mine. Under him, the band four-peated and had many excellent achievements. This is Petra Williams. Thank you for joining us.